ಸರ್ ಬೇರೆದಾರ ಸರ್ ಸರ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಿದಾರ್ರಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಯು ನಿಮಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಕೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್ ಇವಾಗ
ಓಕೆ ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹುಡುಗರು ಬರ್ಲಿ ಒಂದ್ ಚೂರು ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ
100 ಆದ್ರ ಸರ್
ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ವೇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅನದರ್ 2 minutes.
ಹಾ
ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಟ್ 11:05 11:05 ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋಣಂತೆ ಅಲ್ರಿ
100 ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್ ಇವಾಗ ಜೂಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ
ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಲೈವ್ ಗೆ ಕೊಡಿ
ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್ ಇವಾಗ ದೇ
ಓಕೆ
ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವ್ಯೂ ಇನ್ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸರ್
ಲೈವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಓಕೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಶಾಟ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕ್ರಿ ವಾಲಿಕರ್ ಅವ್ರೆ
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್ ಓಕೆ
ಓಕೆ
ಒಂದೇ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಒಂದು
Hello. Hello. Am I audible, Walikar sir?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Shall we start?
हाँ sir, started sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. Good morning, all. Good morning to resource person Malini Lakshmanan and my colleague Dr. Walikar and ICT representative Shri Wagesh and all my dear students. We are in a series of webinars on developing skills for our students, and we are very happy that the response of the students is very nice, and more than 200 students are participating right now. We have been live streaming on YouTube as well. So this is a second of the webinar series, Power series, conducted by ICT. Okay, I welcome you all to this program, and I hope this seminar will give you a lot of inputs for time management skills. Along with this, I would like to introduce today's resource person, Malini Lakshmanan. She is basically an engineering graduate who focused and resilient human resource leader with 20 plus years of strong experience in end-to-end HR functions. Her experience in partnering senior and top management level. She had very in-depth knowledge of HR functions, including HR business partnering, employee relations, HR policy formulation, HR operations, strategic HR, talent acquisition, compensation and benefits, performance management, then HR corporate governance system, talent review, succession planning and rewards and recognition, benefits management. She is a very varied kind of personality, having a lot of skill sets with her. And right now she is working in Suhin International Limited, NIHRD, Bangalore, in Karnataka. So I introduce to you with these words, and once again I welcome Malini Madam to this program. I hope she will give you a lot of inputs for this program. Thank you so much. Over to Malini Lakshmanan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good morning very much to you. And I am very, very happy and really privileged to be part of this invitation. I would like to really, say thank you to the ICT Academy and the college to have invited me. I'm hoping that the team or the people are able to view me. Please let me know.
Yeah, madam.
Yeah,
yes,
sure.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you so much. I will also be sharing my screen and we can go ahead. I'll just start off with it. I hope the screen is viewable with the slides.
Yeah, visible, madam.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Please bring it to PowerPoint mode, madam. Slideshow mode.
Yes. I have already there. I was just waiting to check whether we are on the slideshow mode.
Yeah, this is fine. This is fine.
Great. Thank you so much. To an introduction, thank you so much, Mr. Biradar sir, for my introduction. I'll just give this one. My name is Malini Lakshman. I'm part of the HR department for the company called Syngene International. And I have about 20 years of experience where I have been working in the industry of HR. Today, a lovely topic is something that I would like to connect with all of you. I'm hoping that we can make this session an interactive one. So please let me know if this is, give me a thumbs up on the chat window if this can be made as an interactive session. Yes? This session will be absolutely helpful to each one of us if we make it interactive and ask questions. I will not want to give a lot of knowledge saying that from the books, but it more of an example. So let's start off. What is what is time? So I will be most happy if any of the student can actually even speak. That will be the best one, because it will help me saying that yes, you are all here with me. Vavesh sir, you will have to. Can we have some chat windows speak about it? I'll just go off this chat to see if we have any people speaking. No one, no problem. I'll continue. So it'll be great if you all can at any point of time pause me for any discussions. But what is time? I think we have all grown up saying yes, it's time for do that. It's time to do this. But what is time? And this is just a definition from Wikipedia. This is not something that I have invented or anything as such, but a very, very thoughtful. Sorry, somebody was trying to tell me.
Limitation to do any kind of work.
Okay. Noted. Touch more about it. Great. Thank you. Whoever spoke up. I'm sorry I'm unable to see your name considering that I've gone on a screenshot, but I really like it. So time is the continued sequence of existence and events that occurs in an apparently irreversible succession. So time is irreversible from the past through the present and into the future. Yes, this is very theory oriented, but I think this is just a aspect of why we want to get ourselves introduced to time. Yeah. Time is our most precious resource. There are three things that I really believe, and this is some of my experience over and above what theory could we speak about, is time is all about allocation, time is about energy, and time is about being money, right? So how many of y'all really have heard about it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so which ones are more popular? Time is money, time is energy, or time is allocation?
Time is money.
Time is
Time is
money.
money. That's most popular. Yes, yes, I am sure. Yeah, but today's session will see how all of these three really are key and important, because some student just earlier touched upon saying it is, where it is more described as a constraint, but I would say it is all about time is allocating time, time is energy, because that's how you plan yourself, and then of course time is money. How do you maximize your time? And today we'll learn more about it. I'm just talking about a very high level points is about prioritizing it. How do you leverage it, and how do you time your sessions? Okay, so as a student we'll talk about it, as a individual we'll talk about it, and as a as you step probably in a couple of years you would step into your corporate life, how would you want to manage your time? What are the various types of time? Somebody wants to just give it a try. We've all heard about this time zones, but we may not have heard about time. So what do you think are the various types of time? Okay, I'll take a hit there. Here, basically time is categorized into 3 types: predictable time, discretionary time, and other superimposed or imposed time. What is predictable time? It is all about where you are very organized with some of the routine activities, whether it could be attending classes, attending meetings, and any of your daily jobs. Discretionary time is basically where you have planned for it in a consistent way, and other imposed time is an unpredictable time, some kind of an emergencies. I'll want to take one this one about Benjamin Franklin. I hope you who's Benjamin Franklin? Anybody wants to take a try? Okay. Benjamin Franklin was the president of the US, and this is one of his famous quotes, quote where it says, "The lost time is never found again," which nothing is about. Time is irreversible. And I'll want to just probably give a little few probably a flashback about much popular in comparison to the other presidents of US. Somebody want to take a stab saying that why do you think Benjamin Franklin was? So there's a story here around it. And I can this one. So it's a time that you'll start reading biographies because that's a huge set of learnings. So Benjamin Franklin was when he was serving as a president of India, it was there were a lot of people complained saying that the president is not attending to it, and too many complaints about the president's non looking into aspects. So Benjamin Franklin, as a president, was such a great personality. He said there must be a reason why people are complaining about me not being available, or I am not able to cater to them. So he sat back, and then he said, cater to people. So what does he do? He sits and lists what is occupying his entire day. So we all think that time is just taken for granted. 24 hours is every person that in this world or in this globe has. Nobody has an extra minute. Nobody has a less minute. But how are some people so successful and able to effectively manage all of their activities and still be very, very relaxed? So Benjamin Franklin really sat back and say, what is it that is occupying my day? However, I'm unable to really show it to the people. So he listed down all his activities for a week and said, let's me look at it. What is it? What are some of the activities which are worth doing? What are the activities which are least important? And which are the activities which are very less important? And when he sat back and looked up, he realized that he's spending more time, and ideally, as a president, you should spend time on activities which is worth doing and not which is of least importance. Not saying that least importance is not important, but it is of a different percentage. So what did he do? While he realized that 1 week, this is my list of activities, what if I change myself? So at a very senior, as being the president of the country, he has transformed himself and said that let me relook at the way I spend my time for myself, for the country. And he listed out saying these are the activities or these are the things that I will do as a must do on an everyday basis. And these are things which are less importance and these are of least importance. So what happened? Eventually, he really succeeded and he became extremely popular. So transformation lies in oneself. It is not about what kind or what level you are. And it is about what is time management. Time management is right from planning to a decision making. So there is a lot of morals, moral story from this, famous president that we can look at it. I have wantingly not taken, examples from the country because it could lead to, I mean, like we believe in Modi being an extremely planned person, but I'm sure there are others that who feel differently. So I've been trying to take an extremely neutral example so that we all take learnings from this person. Okay, so this has been one of the most successful stories for Benjamin Franklin, and when you read his biography, you will really see that how managing time effectively from being very infamous or unpopular because people were raising concerns to how he became a successful one. So I think this is some learnings that we all should take, and probably that's where landed him on this dollar note. Why do we need time management?
And your voice is breaking again and again.
Need to this is probably some good life. Sorry, ma'am.
Your voice is breaking, ma'am, again and again.
Okay, sorry about it. Let me know, is this still an issue?
It's proper, ma'am, now.
Okay. I didn't realize, I'm sorry about that. It must have been the connection problem, but I'm hoping that I'm able to be heard rightly to the entire class here. Why do we need time management? We need time management to save time, to reduce stress to ourselves, to function effectively, and to increase our work output. In the next few slides, I'll show you why we are talking about it. I'm just taking our example of a plain 4 quadrants. I'm sure in all your academics, you all must have learned so many theories being on quadrants. Right? Today, we will touch upon the 4 quadrant system, specifically for time. We can divide our entire day, week, or the entire planner into 4 quadrants. The first one being urgent and important, right? So what are some of the examples that anyone can think about in the quadrant of urgent and important? I'll wait for somebody to contribute to this. Anybody wants to take a try? Okay, no problem. So urgent, the first quadrant is urgent and important. These are some of the tasks which which I or you cannot miss it. Whether it could be assignments, it could be to your deliverables, it could be to your, probably your routine activity. I mean, it is important that if you do not do this, then it leads to other repercussions. So this is the first quadrant, and each one's time should be divided into these 4 quadrants. We'll touch upon it as we go. I hope my voice is now clear and not breaking. If someone can confirm.
It's okay,
Kripaya
madam.
Namtude.
Clear, it's
Okay,
clear.
thank you. We will then move to the next quadrant. And what could that be? Urgent, but not important, right? So what are some of these examples? Somebody wants to give a try for this. It is urgent. Everybody, I mean, it's not just because you are, you are what you're doing and I am what you're doing. Everybody's time is divided into these 4 quadrants. And we have the first quadrant being urgent and important, the second quadrant being urgent but not important. And okay, I'm just going to take a very simple example. It could be a call from your family, from your parents, from your siblings, from your relatives, cousin, where you have to take this call. I mean, connecting, because they need to reach out to you. And they are trying to talk to you. They want to connect with you. They need some support from you. They need some help. So it is something that you have to attend. Is it an important thing for you? May not be, right? But it is certainly important from the other person's perspective. So you certainly, everybody's time has this quadrant coming into the picture, right? Let's move to the next quadrant. Which is the next quadrant that we have? Not urgent, but important. What is this zone for? To me, this is the most important quadrant that I would want to focus my day on. However, it depends on how much I can achieve. So these are some of the tasks which I would say right from the smallest thing could be physical activity. Because today it is not urgent, but I decide to exercise every day. I decide to socialize with people. I decide to upgrade my knowledge for myself. I decided to work on learning new things. So these are all absolutely important, but is it urgent for today? Not at all urgent. So, everybody's day does have this quadrant. And what is it that you want to, on which percentage you want to distribute is all onto you. And of course, the last but the least, however, I will still say everybody's favorite area, which is not urgent and not important. So what is this? And everybody loves this percentage, whether you put it as, the smallest percentage or the highest percentage, everybody loves. And this is something where we can talk about binge watching, if you're familiar, or watching Netflix, lazing around, extra sleeping, just going on a slow mode and everything. And I'm sure everybody loves these aspects. Is it required for a person? It is 100% required. But to what proportion is it required is a decision that you as a person has to make for yourself. I, as myself, will make a decision of how much I would want to do it. So this is one of the references where I wouldn't say that this is the ideal percentages. I have reflected the percentages here. This is not the ideal percentage, but if I were to be given a choice, I would want to spend my percentage of time of the day on this aspect, because I feel I will be most satisfied, successful as a person for myself, and effective if I were to spend something on these lines. Do you have control on it? Absolutely. So time is nothing but about planning and about our decisions. Taking decisions is the most key, competency of our life. So time is something that we have to control, and nobody else can control ourselves. Right? Any thoughts? Any discussion points you all want to bring up? See, famous personalities spend it very differently. There are, on a, any day, suddenly the next week, maybe this week, I feel that I should spend my time on these lines of 4 quadrants. But Is it that I have to do it on the similar lines next week? It is all depend on what the priorities are. And that is why it goes back to my previous slides saying you need to have your prioritization of what you want to do to achieve this time management matrix. I would urge each student from here to take this quadrant system to ensure that managing time is not about whether I can do it or not. And it's all about planning, and planning needs decision making, right? Today, you all are at an extremely important juncture where you all are taking decisions for your life, right? And decisions for probably the family. And I think this is the best solution where you can succeed in life, right? And success is not directly anything related to position, power, or anything as such. Success is all about what you have aspired to achieve that. That is what is success. So this is, I would want to have every student out here to know that this matrix is a key quadrant system which we all need to follow in our life. I try to follow this. Am I a perfectionist in following this? No. There are always variations that are happen, which every day is a learning. But I think this is something that I really want to emphasize before I move forward. Well, I think a lot of aspects. I'm sure everybody believes that I don't have the time. Oh, come on. Monday is a very busy day. I have this classes, that classes, and I have absolutely no time. So 99% of the people believe they don't have time. It's only 1% of the people who believe saying that they have the time. It's because they are, planned their aspects of how they want to do activities. And even the famous personalities like, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, or any of our Indian personalities like Mukesh Ambani or anybody as such, take the example of any famous person, really they're extremely planned. And of course, the other success part for them is that they're early risers, and the early risers believe that their most creative time is during the early hours of the day. Are there any pitfalls? It's all about how we believe in it. And I would personally feel that there are 100% pitfalls when you don't know how to master your time. You are a failure. You may be intelligent, but if you don't know how do you manage your time, it is not going to be a long-term aspect. Because if you don't know how to manage your time, you probably don't know what your targets are. And managing your time, you'll get, there will be spots of time where you don't know what to do because you're not planned. Planning, decision making, time management, all of three go in hand. And there are times the day where you'll feel absolutely loaded because you're not planned it out. Of course, when you're doing multitasking, there is outcome is nothing but fatigue and stress of part of life. And then there is follow-up of where you don't have no time to rest. So these are some of the pitfalls. I wouldn't say that these are the only pitfalls, but yes, these are some people's experiences when they say that they haven't been doing time management. It so all comes like either run the day or the day runs you. It's as good as that, right? So it is all in your hands. Time management, planning, and decision making at the age group that you are all in, each of you are in, I think it is time to awaken yourself and run this. We all have aspirations and goals, and never let go. Continue, push yourself to try, and you will all succeed. This is one of my last slide where I was saying, the famous saying of Sadhguru, without having mastery over time, nobody can determine the nature of their destiny in their lives. So look how destiny and time are tagged to each other, and we all assume that we don't know. Saying that time is just another clock hour of the day, right? It isn't. It is all about God has, I mean, maybe too philosophical or too spiritual. We've all been granted 24 hours in a day, and how we use them, how we use it to our advantages in our hands. So I would like to end my presentation here, and I would want to open this forum for any discussions or questions.
Participants ask your questions.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, it may not be a very question, but it is all about experiences. I mean, I would also want to touch upon this one important thing today. We talked about successive people. Did we all know that there are apps today for Android applications, for iPhone, Apple instruments, which can help you managing your time? There is 30/30 toggle. All of these are apps, and these are apps that wouldn't have got built if people didn't believe that time managing or time management is an important skill. So it is just not about being the most innovative, creative. It's also about managing time. So who would even did anybody? I'm probably, if you can raise your hand, did anybody know that there was an app for managing your time? I would, yeah. It's hardly known. We all say that apps are all about innovations and talking about technology and how it can be advanced. But if you have apps on time management, it very much shows how successive people still believe in managing time. Like people like Elon Musk, they quote that they probably spend about 4 days in a week just with this as family time. It's not just because the person has money; it's about how effectively he manages his time and still be extremely productive and effective and achieve what his success what or aspirations are. So I'm sorry if I have talked more, but I'll take a pause and I would love somebody's point of view. I think we said, I'm sorry, there are a couple of questions and I'm happy. It says how to set a time for working to skills. I am sorry, I'm assuming that the question is how do we set time for work and upgrading to skills? Is that the question? If I can ask Shivraj to clarify his question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. While you're working, how do you set up your skills? So I think excellent question, Shivraj. It is about, I'm sure today, if you're talking about working and working in any environment, it takes 8 to 9 hours of work that you all have to clock in. And over and above that, still spend time, upgrading your skills. So I think it is about the week that you have to plan, about the day for sure, saying that if you have to achieve some of the skills, how much time do you have to spend to achieve that skill? And then I would suggest that break it down, break the problem. So if you want to balance both work and upgrading your skills, you have to break the problem, saying, if I have to achieve this skill by this, in the next 2-3 months, how much hours do I have to spend on upgrading my skills? And accordingly, if that is this one, do the calculation of how many hours in a day that you will need to spend, and then what is the each day skills, what will you upgrade? I think with that you will be able to balance. And of course, when you are taking such two big things, working and upgrading, is a huge activity. And it is a combination of like important and urgent, because you are working, and a combination of important but not urgent. So you have to find the right, saying what works for you in your scenario. So it is about working will not change, because every day you will have to spend so many hours at work. And skill upgradation is, you will have to plan your time, saying by how many months, days, weeks that you want to achieve the skill, and break the problem into it. I hope I'm able to give some thoughts to your question, Shivraj.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll take that as a yes. Okay, thank you. The next question is, we are setting our day, but we can't follow it. We are trying to follow it, but we couldn't. I'm doubtful if this is on an everyday case. So it is something that probably, as I said, where the quadrant of urgent but not important suddenly takes a priority for the day, but it could not be an everyday basis. If that is the case, then certainly our quadrant system is not the right planner, and we have to revisit it. And why can't we follow it? I mean, what is the challenge? If you can just type in, I can then probably throw some more light on it. Why do you think we can't follow it? If it is about urgent but not important tasks, I can understand that there could be deviations for a day or two, but beyond that, it is in our control. It is our decisions, our planning. So I'm still unable to completely answer this question unless we understand why we are unable to follow it. What are the constraints that are coming across? Is it Devi Diwali? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing the name wrong. Never mind. I mean, my view is that there can be exceptions. We are setting our day, but we can't follow it. However, it can be an exception for a day, because there are some scenarios where I talked about the second quadrant, urgent but not important can probably take the priority for the day. But you need to keep revisiting if you feel that you're not achieving success with your planner. Great. I have the next question. Is there any standardized timetable for students? No, sir. My entire reason of following the quadrant system for you and introducing into the time management metrics is primarily for the aspect that there is no ready-made material. You'll have all reached the age where you have to make your own timetable, whether it is for which subjects or whether it is for something else. Follow the quadrant system and every timetable will get attended. So there is no ready timetable, sorry, sir, if that was to be something not expected, but timetable is something that you have to make, and exactly the planner. So it's all about time management and planning and decision making. I'll move on to the next question. Priority settings is most important, ma'am. That's why we are not able to work according to that. I think, ma'am, this is the answer. Is this correct? Yes, you're absolutely right, Akama. It is a priority that you have to set. And that is where you have to think very deep to understand what are your priorities, because it could just we may very be superficial saying that, oh no, I will just do this and that's it, but you may not even touch upon the actual priority activity, which leads to eventually would lead to failure. So it is important that you first think about it, plan about it, take a decision, and then set your priority. So absolutely, Akama, you're right. It is the priority settings. And if you go back, if you all recall my slide, it is about how we leverage our time and prioritize our time. If you want, I can just pull up that slide and show that again. Where you can say that it is timed. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Prioritizing, leveraging that priorities, and how do you time sessions. There are innumerable windows or innumerable videos on various forums, Netflix or anything, even on YouTube, where you can learn about how successful people manage their time. There is a concept called time boxing, and that's exactly where we talk about the time planner. Another famous personality uses the concept of time boxing. Is basically that he believes only saying that I will spend only 1.5 hours in managing that activity and no extra minute. So can you be so hard bound? It is a decision that you have to take. So time boxing is another concept. When you probably do a Google, you will realize that time boxing is another activity which probably the successful people are started to follow. Yeah, I'll take the next question. It says, Shivraj, we plan to do work, but we can't follow it. What may be the reason for it? I would want you to answer it, Shivraj. We already spoke about it, so I would want you to answer it. You already have the answer. It's about priority setting. There can be as I go back, there can be an exception for a day, because I told you that quadrant a little is an unpredictable one, where it is urgent but not important, and then that just takes away your the entire time or the show for the day. But the rest of it is an all talking about how you set up your priorities. So the most important quadrant in our day or our life is important but not urgent. That is where we grow ourselves, that we believe are as a person we can grow ourselves. So it's all about priority setting, Shivraj. Yeah. The next question, how do we Aishwarya, how do we manage stress at work as well as study, ma'am? So are you all working also? I mean, I'm very happy and curious to know.
A few of them are working, madam. Because of some problems, they work part-time.
Part-time work, yes.
Yeah,
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That helps. I think how does stress get built up? So stress is something where you don't enjoy doing it, right? Unless you accept what you're doing it is not about stress. If you're talking about physical stress, I can relate to it, saying that I am residing in Bangalore, and I can tell you it is horrendous experiences when you have to commute to office on an everyday basis. So physical stress certainly happens, but I'm talking about the fatigue that comes out saying that, oh no, I have to go to work or I have to work and study. There it is because you're not building your satisfaction levels. So it is about you accepting it, whether it is about studying or about working. So I am very, very proud of some of you who are actually doing both of these. Super proud, because you all will really do well, very, very well in life, if you are able to do jobs and study at this point of time. But if you all are doing that work, accept that and take it to a satisfaction level, because that's the reality. And say that if I have to work, say 4 or 5 hours a day, yes, so be it. But that work is something that I'm going to accept it, satisfy, take the satisfaction, and also build more, enhance my skill around it. It could be some contradicting job. So maybe you are a commerce graduate and you may be doing something very, very different to what your studies are. But that is all a learning, unless and until you accept it as a learning, because life has taken you there, and there is a reason. So believe in it, accept that, and the stress levels will naturally flow down. Is there stress about the timings, or I mean the work hours, or is stress about the people around? If it's about the people around, then I think you can take a different route. I hope I'm able to answer that question, Aishwarya. I mean, you can chat. Yeah, great. Thanks. I would say that, the fatigue and stress is where I wouldn't say that it is only about time. It's also about accepting what your priorities are. If you know it is your priority, you will have less stress, less fatigue about it. I think this is an absolutely interactive group. I'm very happy that the students here are able to probably be so vocal in their questions and clarifying. I'm super happy. I'm really touched about it. So if there are any other questions, you may please type it in the chat, or we can discuss it in this forum. My email ID is also given. You can also reach out. And not that I'm an expert. I'm learning every day, people. So please don't assume anything. I hope my introduction to the time management, and I would say this is only an introduction. This is no theory. This is no complete. It is just an overview or an introduction to time management and some of the aspects of principles that I try to follow. I'm not saying an expert, but I try to follow, and I would want all of you also to believe in it, because that's how success comes in. All right, thank you, Biradar sir. I think there are no further questions.
Yeah, thank you, madam. Participants, final call for questions. Any questions? I don't think questions are there. Thank you, madam, for your very mind-blowing session, giving so many inputs on prioritizing things in planning a timetable, and which I hope our students enjoyed it and they try to implement in their future time management schedule. So thank you once again on behalf of our college management and ICT. Thank you so much, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I'll